where the oxygen content was consistently maintained at the normal atmospheric conditions. Well, after 30 days, Dr. Goldblatt injected all 3 groups of these cells into 3 separate groups of rats. The results? After 2 weeks, when the cells had been reabsorbed into these animals, nothing happened with the 2 normal groups. In other words, in those bell jars where oxygen was maintained at its normal levels. However, all the rats in the 3rd group, those whose cells had been periodically deprived of oxygen, developed malignant growths. This work was followed up a year later, and the malignant growths remained malignant and the normal cells remained normal. So what does this tell us? Well, many researchers now believe by studies like this that lack of oxygen seems to play a major role in causing cells to become malignant or cancerous. That's the key element here. It certainly affects the quality of life for the cells at the very least. Remember, the quality of your health really is the quality of the life of your cells. So fully oxygenating your system has got to be your number 1 priority, and breathing effectively is certainly the place to start. The problem is that most people don't know how to breathe. Now, I got an interesting statistic for you. Did you know that 1 out of every 3 Americans now gets cancer? Pretty scary, huh? Yet, you know what's interesting? Athletes have a totally different ratio. There's only 1 case of cancer for every 7 Americans who are considered to be athletes. Why? Well, these studies begin to give us an explanation. Athletes are giving their bloodstream its most important vital element on an ongoing basis, oxygen. Another explanation is that these athletes are stimulating their body's immune systems to work at maximum levels by stimulating the movement of lymph. In other words, again, they're firing off this internal vacuum cleaner that is cleansing the circulatory system. So more oxygen is getting to the cells and there are less irritants in the system. Let me share with you what my research shows is the most effective way to breathe in order to cleanse your system. You should breathe in the following ratio. Inhale for 1 count, hold for 4 counts, and then exhale for 2 counts. So, for example, if you inhaled for 4 seconds, you'd hold for 16, and you'd exhale for 8. You follow me? Why am I having you exhale twice as long as you inhale? Because when you exhale, that's when you're actually eliminating toxins via your lymphatic system. Why hold 4 times as long? That's how you can fully oxygenate the blood and activate your lymphatic system. In addition, when you breathe, you should start deep in your abdomen, like a vacuum cleaner that's getting rid of all the toxins in the blood system. Let me ask you another question. How hungry do you usually feel after you exercise? Do you want to sit down and eat a big steak after you've run 4 miles? We know, in fact, that people don't. Why not? Because during exercise, through healthy breathing, your body's getting exactly what it needs most. So here's the very first important key to the living health system. You must stop and take at least 10 deep breaths in the ratio I've just described at least 3 times a day. What's the ratio again? Inhale 1, hold 4, exhale 2. So let's just try it. Let's have you do it. Either stand up, or you can do this if you're in your car sitting down. But ideally, if you're not in your car, stand up. And here's what I want you to do. Shake your body out, get a little bit loose, stand there for a moment, and what I'd like you to do is take a deep breath in, starting in your abdomen and breathing in through your nose. And then while we do it, we're going to count to 7 as you inhale. So you're going to continue to inhale all the way up to 7. Then we're going to hold for 4 times that, or 28. And then we're going to have you exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 2 times that, which would be 14. Now, I don't want you to strain yourself on this. If this number is too large for you in terms of inhale or holding, then go ahead and let it out. You're not to stress yourself in any way. You can start smaller and begin through a period of time to build up your lung capacity. But let's go for it. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Deep breath in again. Exhale slowly. Eat your heart out, Richard Simmons. Now, how do you feel when you do that? Do you feel how the circulation is going on? If you'll do that 10 times, 10 simple breaths like that. Again, the ratio is the same. The numbers can change. Inhale 1, hold 4, exhale 2. Yes, if you'll do that 10 times, 3 times a day, you cannot believe what will happen to your energy level. It will explode. Because what will happen is you'll be cleansing your bloodstream, more oxygen will get to your cells. The more oxygen is there, the healthier and the stronger they are, the more power you have as a human being. I'm telling you, this can unleash your power physically. Everything else we've talked about is worthless if you don't have the physical energy to use it. So take me up on this 10-day challenge. For the next 10 days, breathe like this on a consistent basis, 3 times a day, 10 breaths. Would you be willing to go for it? If you do, I promise you, it'll transform the level of your energy more than you ever thought possible just by doing this simple breathing. And I'm not just telling you anecdotally. I can tell you now, for the last 5-6 years that we've done Mastery University, at Life Mastery in Hawaii, every single person gets blood tested in the beginning. They're interviewed about their level of energy and so forth, but everyone has a blood test, and they get to see their red blood cells. That's what's carrying the oxygen to you. And most people eat so many fatty foods, they breathe so poorly, their system is so clogged that they get to see their own cells, the red blood cells sticking together. And when they stick together, you can imagine, they move more slowly through the bloodstream. So you get less oxygen. Less oxygen, guess what? You got less energy. The whole body weakens. Sometimes people become ill. And you know what they do? They do 9 days of what I'm telling you. They do this breathing 3 times a day, and then we test them again at the end of 9 days. And not only have they lost weight, and do they feel tremendous amounts of energy, but then we show them their blood. And there in front of them is the evidence of why it's changed. Because their whole body changes. All of a sudden, these red blood cells aren't sticking together. All of a sudden, they're getting more oxygen into the system. So I want you to know this really works. It's scientifically based, as simplistic as it is. This is what your Creator gave you. Your Creator gave you a way to cleanse your system. So do it. Take this 10-day challenge right now. Make sure you do the breathing, and make sure you do it for 10 days, consistently, 3 times a day, 10 breaths. Your body, your mind, your emotions are worth it. I'm telling you, it'll transform you. Do one starting now. Remember, there's no food or vitamin pill in the world that can do for you what excellent breathing patterns can do. Now, I should mention one other thing about oxygen, and that is the other essential component of healthy overall breathing is daily aerobic exercise. Now, remember, aerobic literally means to exercise with air. That's the literal definition. So running is fine, though it's a little bit stressful at times for people. Swimming is excellent. I personally have found something I like even more that I also do in the pool, though. I have an aqua power system that I've developed, which is simply a way to work out in the water where I don't have any of the compression, but I get the full aerobic workout and the strength workout as if I was lifting weights. It's very powerful. But you can find something for yourself. Look for something that you can do in almost any weather, that you can do consistently and daily, and that you can enjoy. That's the key. But by doing that, you can create the aerobic power that you really want for your body, and again, nurture your energy. I don't think I can stress enough, obviously, making sure you pick an exercise that's appropriate for where you are at your present level of health if you're going to do something like running or swimming. Talk to your doctor first, as always. Here's the second key principle of living health. It's the power of eating water-rich foods. What do I mean by that? Let's you and I use some common sense for a second. 70% of this planet is covered with what? Water. 80% of your body is made up of what? Answer is water. What do you think a large percentage of your diet should probably contain? You guessed it, water. You need to make certain that at least 70% of your diet is made up of foods that are rich in water. That means fresh fruits or vegetables or their juices that are hopefully freshly squeezed. Now, some people I know recommend that, water's great. You want to cleanse your system. So drink 8 or 10 or 12 glasses of water a day to flush out the system. This can often backfire. In the first place, most of the water that people go around drinking isn't exactly nurturing. Chances are, if you're drinking tap water, that it contains chlorine, fluoride, minerals, and other toxic substances. Drinking distilled water is often a good idea. But no matter what kind of water you're going to drink, you can't cleanse your system by drowning it. The amount of water you should drink, it should be dictated by your thirst. Instead of trying to flush your system by flooding it with tap water, all you have to do is eat foods that are naturally rich in water, what we call water content foods. There are only 3 kinds on the planet: fruits, vegetables, and sprouts. These will usually provide you with an abundance of water, that life-giving, cleansing substance you can't live without. Listen, when people live on a diet that's low in water content food,